General electrical safety. 2 men shall be working in the primary at all times. Full apprentices are not allowed to work on live energized equipment. Class 2 gloves and sleeves shall be worn cradle to cradle when in an aerial lift and ground to ground when climbing a pole. One exception is if the pole may create damage to PPE, the lineman may put PPE on at the joint use. And all jumping and switching shall be done with a hot stick, no exceptions. Minimum approach distance is the distance in which must be maintained from an energized source. Only qualified workers may be able to work within the minimum approach distance. How does electricity travel? Electricity travels by 3 basic rules. It takes fastest path to ground, it takes all paths to ground, and it moves from higher to lower voltage gradients once it gets to ground. Electricity moves in the same way that ripples in the water travel. Voltage decreases as it moves away from the source, creating a gradient of different voltage levels. Step potential occurs when electric voltage is radiating through the ground. Step potential is the term used to identify the danger of walking close to an electrical current in the ground. As you walk, if one foot touches down in one voltage gradient and your other foot is still in another, current's fastest path is through you. You become part of the circuit and get shocked or electrocuted depending on the voltage or proximity to the downline. Touch potential occurs when you touch an energized object, like an exposed wire or an energized truck. Your body will become the path of least resistance to the ground. Touch potential is the danger of touching an energized object and creating a path to ground. And touch potential is the reason all ground workers shall not be in contact with vehicles and equipment when aloft workers are within minimum approach distance. If you are in the danger zone and you are not in or on vehicle when it is energized, safest thing to do is shuffle to a safe distance away. If you are in the danger zone and you are in or on piece of equipment that is energized, safest thing to do is to stay put. Only exit if it is not safe to stay where you are. If piece of equipment becomes energized and starts on fire, safest thing to do is the bunny hop method. Ensure both feet leave the equipment together and land on the ground together. Make sure it's far enough to hop off, but not too far where you stumble, and then bunny hop to a safe distance away. Some life-saving rules: make sure to stop working, try to stay calm, treat all potential conductors as if they are energized. If you are in or on piece of equipment that has become energized, stay put and warn others not to approach. If you are not in or on piece of equipment that has been energized, shuffle to a safe distance away or stay away, and make sure that no one else enters that danger zone. The definition of shock is when electricity moves through someone's body. The effects of shock can differ greatly depending on the amperage you're exposed to. Different current levels have different effects. Shock from Christmas tree lights have the ability to cause VFib. If it does not kill you, you will still suffer resistance burns, entrance wounds, and exit wounds. There are 2 major hazards of an arc flash. The first one is the flash of light and heat, which could reach up to 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and the blast that follows, which creates sound waves of 160 decibels, which is like putting your head in a Boeing 747 jet engine. The blast also creates a pressure wave of 70 pounds per square foot, which shoots out vaporized hot gases, metal, and other shrapnel at 680 miles per hour. Each year, workers are killed or seriously injured due to current flow through their body. This picture is just to show that as little as 100 milliamperes can stop your heart from beating. OSHA defines insulated as material relied upon to protect the conductor from other conductors or conducting parts or from ground. Rubber goods insulate the worker from the energized part. Backup systems to a lineman's insulated rubber gloves are an insulated platform, an insulated boom, and insulated covering material. Insulating tools, equipment, and safe work practices allow a worker to safely work on and around energized equipment and conductors. Insulating personal protective equipment are your rubber gloves and sleeves. Insulating protective equipment, or IPE, are the rubber blankets, rubber line hoses, rubber hoods, plastic covers, or anything of that sort. Live line tools shall be removed from service every 2 years for examination, cleaning, repair, and testing as needed. All live line tools must be checked for proper test date, physical wear, and be wiped down prior to use. Each live line tool shall be wiped clean and visually inspected before use each day, and make sure to test your tool's integrity along its entire working length. Second points of contact. Make sure to cover any energized phase that the boom may come into contact with. The phase may even be below the boom. It still must be covered. Eliminate second points of contact hazards. Your cross arms should be covered. Workers shall be wearing their rubber sleeves, adhering to minimum approach distance, and using hand lines. Second points of contact include pole, crossarm, open spot and cover, guy wires, and other phases or neutrals. The definition of isolate is to be physically separated electrically and mechanically from all sources of electrical energy. Such separation may not eliminate the effects of electrical induction. Insulated protective equipment, or IPE, shall be installed in the order of nearest first and removed in the reverse order. Energized or de-energized parts may have to be temporarily covered in order to install IPE on all parts necessary to insulate or isolate the part that is to be worked on. The part to be worked shall only be uncovered after all IPE has been installed in the work zone that will allow no contact with conductors or equipment at a different potential. IPE shall be installed, removed in such a manner so that the worker is not exposed to contact from energized conductors or second points of contact, and the line worker shall never turn their back on exposed energized conductors or second points of contact when working within minimum approach distance.